Welcome back to JH Diesel and welcome back to the shop. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. Honestly, for a rare thing right now, we have a lot of stuff that's running, which is
shut your mouth.
Pretty impressive. So, drag truck has been good. We are waiting on more parts for that right now. We got a lot of upgrades and improvements we're trying to do that thing, make it way better. This thing has come a long way and it's going a lot further. So for now, it's gonna be chilling until we get these other parts, get the suspension more dialed in, get some weight shaved out of it. And I wanna see hopefully some 5-second passes with an Allison. I'm hoping. Allisons aren't really known for going super fast, but I wanna push this thing as far as I can, as long as I can, see what it can do. I think it's got the right stuff in it. I think it's capable of it. We already got into the 6s with it, no problem. That other second it's big, that's a lot, but we only have a little bit of power going in this thing compared to what it can take. And then we have a lot of weight in this thing that we are shaving out of it. So we have that going on. Our mud truck, we are currently waiting on the turbo. We finally got a decision on that, so we're waiting on our turbocharger to get here. Everything else pretty much is done. Wire harness is in the frame, goes all the way in the back. Transmission, engine installed, transfer case installed. We got to do a couple things with the drive shafts, but nothing major on that as far as drivetrain stuff. It's very, very, very close. And then, like I said, we're getting all our wiring harnesses, our wires, all that stuff's coming in. So we should be able to get all that dialed and have this thing ready to rip. Now, there's something you guys have been waiting on for a while. I think you guys are really, really gonna like this. It's something that I get asked a lot of questions about. What's that thing doing over there? What's it sitting over there in the corner for? It had never been moved.
I thought you were talking about beef jerky for a minute, and then you said it.
We don't
not
have
beef
that,
jerky.
We don't have that beef jerky deal locked in yet. Okay,
man,
that's not locked in. I'm sorry. Working on that, but maybe one day. Maybe this will get it. Maybe we'll put a big wrap on the truck, beef jerky.
Oh my goodness, that's a good idea.
So, a lot of you have seen this blue Chevy Silverado K30 sitting in the corner, and it is a beaut. So the backstory is my buddy dropped this thing off here about probably like 6 or 7 years ago now, maybe even longer. I think it's actually, it's been 6 years, because I finished a 6.0 for another friend of mine. That was a big project we did, and I finished that right here and then shipped that out. And within the next 2 weeks, he showed up with this and said, "Hey man, let's put a Duramax in this." I said, "All right," and just rolled it off his trailer. And I said, "I can't let it sit outside because it's going to get ruined." And I said, "You got a motor?" He goes, "No." I said, "You got a transmission?" He said, "No." Well, shoot, we don't really have much, do we? So I had a parts truck, and I ended up selling him the parts truck, and we pulled the motor out, pulled the transmission out, pulled everything out of it. So in that time frame, basically the truck sat here for, I don't know, a few months to get a game plan, and then me getting rid of the parts truck I had, getting that thing stripped apart. Before you know it, 6 months, a year goes by, and then ended up getting the motor to the machine shop, had them fully build the engine. So we have a fully built LB7 Duramax for this thing. Carrillo rods, Malt pistons. We've got bigger camshaft. A lot of work with this engine. I mean, it's a really nice piece. So he had all the parts powder coated, all the engine covers and stuff. So it's a really nice piece. It's actually sitting right over there under that tarp, which I just peeled the tarp
right
out.
there.
So that thing is pretty much a fully assembled long block right now. Big injectors. We got a big compound turbo kit to go on this thing. Massive injection pump. So this thing should be a real ripper. Like, it should be a true 800 to 1,000 horsepower truck at the tire. And, it's a nice truck. So that's where we're at with it. Just a backstory on it, guys. I've been kind of like, man, we haven't had much time. My shop's been super busy with other stuff to branch out and do a job that's going to take, months to finish. I figured this would be perfect, something for the channel to do. So we're to the point where we've got it. We actually have a Duramax engine cross member that he purchased that's going to basically mount the Duramax right into this thing. We are probably going to remove the factory air condition out, because I don't think there's any way we're going to get a twin turbo kit to fit with the factory AC. We'll leave it in there as long as we can, but I have a feeling we're gonna have to go with some kind of aftermarket unit for the air conditioning. And fully built Allison transmission. I've got all the parts in there. We got basically everything. It's gonna be a pretty nasty unit. And then, yeah, we're gonna have another Squarebody running. And this thing's gonna be a ripper with a Duramax. This is gonna be like a luxury truck. This truck's really nice inside. It's got power windows, power locks. It's a fully loaded truck, and it's super nice. So really excited to get on this. I know he's probably gonna watch this and get really excited. It's gonna be a couple months, man, but we'll get her done for you. Now, what brings me to our next project, I also have a truck that I want to put a Duramax in. So I figured the best route to go is going to be to do them both at the same time, right?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Like, at least then we can work on one, figure out what we have to do here, and then do the exact same thing to the other one. So me and you can be working on them, whatever. I'm working on one, you work on the other, whatever we end up doing with the whole situation. And we can get them both done. Now, the other one doesn't need air conditioning yet. The other one doesn't need any of the fancy stuff. It's going to be more of a ripper slash trail truck. So we'll go look at that in a minute. You guys check that out. But for now, we're gonna get all this crap cleared out. We're gonna clear this corner out, get this truck back to being able to see it, start working on it, and start hopefully getting the engine set in there and mocking up the trans. I don't know if we have a trans cross member or not. I don't know what came with this kit he bought, but I don't know what it has. So we're gonna get all that stuff opened up, get the motor set in there, transmission hopefully set in there. Transfer case would be one of the last things, but we have that also. And then start getting this thing done.
You think when we get this all finished up, he'll be like, you did such a good job, and I like you, so you can just have the truck? Think you'll maybe give it to me?
I thought if it just sat here for a long time, he'd forget about it.
He hasn't
forgot about it. He still hits me up on it like once a week. Like, hey man, you get my truck done? I'm working on it. Give me a break, okay? I'm trying here. So I don't think we're gonna get that lucky.
Maybe if we get started on, we can just tell him it's really just bad.
You just don't want to. It's
don't want to do this.
You know, it just needs
it's sat here so long it's rotted out. You should probably just start with another one.
Let's get a new one.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do.
Speaking of junk, let's go look at August. Don't miss out on this insane giveaway we're doing right now. Every $5 spent on JH Diesel merchandise will get you entered for a chance to win your choice, one of 2 Ram TRXs. You got a TRX Mini shorty truck, 4-wheel drive, built hell for an engine, absolutely insane. And then you got a full 4-door Ram TRX with some tasteful mods, plus $20,000 cash in your pocket. You're not going to want to miss out on this, guys. Every $5 spent, get you 1 entry. Keychains, lanyards, shirts, hats, everything's live on the website. Baldeagle.com or CletusMcFarland.com is where you go to enter to win. Don't miss out on this. It's going to end August 16th. No purchase necessary. Good luck to everybody.
This doesn't look like it's in the same shape as the other one.
I say it's in pretty good shape. Wait, what? Yeah, no, it's pretty good shape.
Somebody left my hood open too. I don't appreciate that very much.
So you guys remember the old trail truck. Pick this old girl up, 6.2 diesel, a true CUCV Army truck, CUCV, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what everybody calls them. I hear all different names. What I like about this truck is it has it's already a diesel, and it has really good axles in it, which, yeah, axles could be swapped in, whatever, but it's a complete square body. The frame is solid. There's no rust on the frame. It's not rusty whatsoever. It's got a little bit of cab rust on it, but nothing up high, nothing around the windshield, nothing around the windows. It's literally just your cab corners and rockers, your common stuff. And I think the rockers are actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's just a cab corner, right? Rockers have a little bit in them, I guess, don't they? Probably
it's more of the floor,
because it's been sitting wet, you know.
Yeah.
But the interior is really all there. It's not completely trashed. And
nice two-tone gray dash, red doors,
gray dash, gray, green, red.
I like it. It's for camouflage.
Yeah. But we all know that our oh, that's pretty cool. So check that out. See, CUCV cargo shelter carrier M1028, shipping date plate, yada yada yada. That's pretty cool. I don't think I ever really saw that thing on there.
You know what I think is pretty neat, and it's something that most people probably would never even notice. This never had drip edges from the factory on it. There's no
really?
screw holes for the drip, because the drip edges screw on, but there's no screw holes for it. They never had them from the factory.
Didn't think that the military needed them, huh?
I mean, it makes sense, but that's pretty crazy.
The military gets all the good stuff, man. Those guys.
Yeah, I mean, 456 gears, lockers front and rear, right?
So I don't know if it has a front locker. I think it does. I'm not sure, but yeah, these axles are true 1-ton axles. 456 gears already in them. So they're a stout axle, corporate 14-bolt rear with, I know that comes with like a Detroit locker in it. And then I'm not sure about the front. I think the front might be open. I don't know. We could always pull it apart and take a look. But as you guys know, we built our light bar mount. We built the Move front bumper. That was actually a bumper kit we put on it with a massive winch in the front. We got another winch for the rear. We put the snorkel on it. Really made this thing kind of something you can really take off-road. So my plan, since the 6.2 diesel blew up on it, we need to make this thing better and better than ever. And I think the only way to do that is to put a Duramax in it.
For sure.
I think that's the only way.
Are we going to leave the exhaust the same way?
We are not.
Oh, okay.
The exhaust the same way. So, dude, look at the spring pack. That's insane.
I know it.
That's so nuts. Though, yeah, the springs are
Now, I was going to say, now remember, these were broken
the top,
right there.
Your main leafs that go all the way through are definitely
there.
broken.
Now,
So,
are you going to leave the Turbo 400 in it with the 205 case?
No, I'm not sure what I'm going to do behind it yet. I don't think I'm going to leave the Turbo 400 in it, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. We might throw the Allison in it. We might keep a Turbo 400 in it. If we can get the Turbo 400 to act right with the Duramax and everything, it'd be really cool to do that. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, the only problem was with the 456 gears, you would have no highway gear.
No highway
It'd be
gear.
really
It'd be no overdrive. So I think we're going to end up putting the Allison in it. It'll just work better. Everything will work together, work as a unit. We're not trying to go for massive amounts of horsepower on this thing. I'm thinking around 650 horsepower, something like that, the tire. I got a set of nice injectors for this thing. I've got a nice injection pump for it. Pretty much just got to put a turbo on it. So, and I got to find a drivetrain for it. That's one thing we're looking for, guys. I'm looking for a 2004.5 05 LLY engine. If anybody has one they want to get rid of, or I would really like a full parts truck. If I could get a truck that has the engine harness, the main harness, everything, I need a 2004, 2005 LLY. If it's got a blown head gasket or something, but there's no water in the oil, I'll take that. I just, I don't want to buy something that's destroyed or has to be rebuilt. I'm just going to put a stock motor in this thing for now. I think it'll be fine at that power level with this truck. And our end goal for this thing is to probably get it up on some wheels and tires, put up on like probably 38s or 40s, small 4-link, and then obviously have the Duramax in it. I mean, even if we did bedsides, if we make this thing an off-road truck and we did bedsides or something, I don't know, we could probably make something pretty cool out of it.
And who knows what it's going to actually turn into, because we may wind up pinching the back of the bed. Who knows what's going to wind up happening to it? A lot of stuff could change.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just initially we know we want to put a Duramax in this. So guys, this is the start of our projects here. These are both going to be Duramax swap square bodies. The blue one is our main goal, but while we're doing it, we might as well pull this one in next to it, work on them both so we can do it along the way. So that means I need an LLY engine. If somebody's got a really nice LB7, that's a possibility. I really want an LLY though. LBZs with the piston problems they have and some other stuff, I don't want to run an LBZ or later. I'd like to get an LLY. I had a lot of good luck with the LLYs, and I have a lot of parts for the LLYs. So if we can just get that would make my life a whole lot easier. So if you know anybody, let me know. They want to get rid of it. But I'm not spending $20,000 on a whole truck, $10,000, anything like that. It's got to be cheap. So I'm cheap,
So coming soon. I think you would say buffering or loading.
Yeah, we're just coming soon on this. We're getting, first things first, we got to get that one cleared out, and at least I think we set the motor and transmission into that one, get that one dialed in as far as that goes. Once the motor and trans is set in there, now we pop this motor out, and then we start doing the assembly process on this one.
You think I could get this motor from you? I'd like to have this for
yeah.
a little project.
Cleet had one a while back. He sold for $500.
I'd give you $1,000 for this one. It's just blown up. It's got rods sticking out.
I was hoping we could sell it to him.
It is we should bring this, because he might need another one, a spare one.
I think we just drop it off in his lot.
And he can look right in the side of it and see that everything's good.
Yeah, I think we just drop it off in his lot and leave.
Yeah.
Don't say a word.
That is even a better idea.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift from your friends.
So maybe put it on the bed of the yellow truck and just
Just back up.
Just do a quick 1-2.
All right, so let's get the blue one cleared out, and then we'll get this one pulled in eventually and start getting this one tore apart, and we get our Duramax swaps going. This is going to be really fun. The 78, that truck's pretty much done, minus a couple small things. That was a really fun project to do, and then I really had this plan for this truck once the motor blew up. I said, I know what I want to do with it. Let's wait till the time is right, and I think it's the right time. I know I think it'll be a really cool raggedy-ass square body with a Duramax in it. I think it'll be really fun. So we'll see what happens. We'll get them started, start getting working on them. So before we get too deep into anything on this truck, first of all, we're gonna get these fenders out of the way. That way we have more room to work around everything. That gives us plenty of room where you can work over the tire and everything else. That way this whole section's gone, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. The firewall, AC stuff, hydro boost, brakes, anything that's accessories up there. But at least that stuff will be out of the way. And then we can get our cross members out, start mocking those up, and then also see about, they started beefing the frame up. I don't know what we're gonna do there yet, but that was not us, that was them. So we'll see what they end up doing there in the end. But as you can see, they got a couple plates in here. But first things first, get these fenders off, get those things sitting in the bed, keep those safe, and then we start on our frame area and see what we gotta do. One down, one to go. A little bit more access, huh?
Well, we're getting a little more gooder.
The 78, we decided to pull the cab off, but we just cannot tie up a lift that long with this one. And with the way that we're doing this one, obviously we swapped frames. This one, we're going to use the original Chevy K30 frame. So we kind of dumb to pull the cab off at this point. We want to fit the engine in with the cab on, and then see what we have to do with the core support and stuff. So before we get too deep into this thing, we decided to roll it outside. Let's get the pressure washer on it, because nobody wants to start working on a dirty truck. There's a lot of crap, grime under there, some clay, some mud, a little bit of everything. The bay is spotless, cleaned out, so that way we're working on a clean surface. We'll roll the engine out, get it out of the way now that the truck's out of the way, and hopefully get everything nice and clean. So when we put this thing back together, it's looking good. Yeah. Well, not only did it get a really good pressure washing underneath, but it also got a little bit of rain on her. So, really got this blue shining up. But got all the oil off. Justin pressure washed it, purple powered it. Got some really strong stuff in there. So now we should be able to really work with this thing and not have any kind of oils or, you know, anything dirty having to worry about. Looks pretty good.
Much better.
Looks pretty good. Anytime you start a project, it's really good practice to clean it before you get too deep into it. I think we still got some clay under there, but that thing was covered, man. We'll do the best we can when we're all working our way through it, and we'll be having a lot of hours under this thing, so I'm sure it won't be a problem.
What you got there?
A box of goodies.
Oh,
Been
goodies.
sitting in my office for a couple months. Quite a few months, actually.
A couple months.
Knife is
Yeah, it's not a knife I usually carry on me. That one will just get you in trouble. Got a little note for me?
said, please stop what you're doing and double check everything. He'd kill it. So we opened up our box of goodies here, and we have our full Duramax swap kit right here. All of these mounting plates and brackets should be able to mount a Duramax in a square body Chevrolet frame or old square body frame. You're gonna have driver side, passenger side, This is your centerpiece. These bolt right to the sides of the engine, our new motor mounts, and then those are also part of the motor mounts there. These are some bracing brackets that go on the side of these. Comes with everything, bolts, hardware, everything you need. Looks like everything is there, which is really good. Big bolts for the motor mounts, everything. So from the looks of it, it shouldn't be that bad. Once we get the old mounts out of the way, I think it's actually gonna go together fairly easy, and then we should be able to have it set up to put our Duramax in right there.
So these brackets, the way they actually mount to these holes right here. These 2 holes for the brake line bracket and these 3 holes for the bump stop, and the brake line goes through them. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all those rivets off and pull those brackets off like I did on this side. This bracket's loose, but I still gotta take the brake line out of it to get that in there. So we'll go ahead and cut the rivets off over there. Went ahead and got the frame all cleaned up. This is where this bracket's gonna go. I did the same thing on the inside. Pretty much got it all cleaned up. Just make sure there's nothing that's gonna hold it off the frame, make it not go into the right spot. Cleaned up the outside of this frame. I'm gonna go ahead and get these brackets on now, and we'll get the crossmember piece bolted in, and we'll bolt the factory motor mounts back in because we need to use those also. So we'll get that put together and we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and get this old girl bolted up. So we have everything loosely installed. I have to do some clearancing here. I gotta change this hole because you can see that doesn't line up. And if you look, I've got a clearance issue right here. Also, the same with over here. So I gotta do a little bit of work on that, but it's in pretty much where it should be. I've just got to do a little bit of clearancing and trimming now. So we'll get that done and get it final bolted in and go from there.
Man, we are on our way. The cross members are about 99% in. This is a really nice setup. Got it from Precision Fabrication Plus, and it just ties into the frame so nicely. So everything goes around the frame, bottom, top. This is an older kit. We've actually had this kit for a while, and it reuses these plates here. His newer kits actually do not reuse those plates there. So really nice kit, pretty awesome stuff, pretty cool. We may look into building our own on our truck just because, you know, we like to do things on a budget, and not saying this is out of our budget, but we think we're capable of doing our own. So there's a good chance we just build our own for our truck. But for this one, we have this kit here, which is just awesome. It all went in really good, and ARP bolts to finish it off looks really nice. So these are obviously your motor mounts and the lower pieces, and your upper pieces actually bolt to the engine with these nice plates here. All these bolts are nice and flush inset. It's gonna look really good when it's all said and done. But for now, I think we're gonna call that. I'd say this is a really good progress. Next episode, we're gonna get the engine out of that corner, and we are gonna start going through that, getting it kind of assembled a little bit more, and then get it hopefully put in this frame, start putting the transmission mock-up behind it, and get this thing dialed in and ready to go. It's gonna be a really fun project. I'm really excited to do it. The 78 came out really good, and it'll be really cool. I've been getting a lot of people asking me on this 4-door, and it is a beautiful truck. It is definitely not perfect. It has had, it was a driver. It was a daily driver. It could probably use a nice paint job. This paint is pretty good, but there's a couple bubbles in it here and there and things like that. But for the most part, it's a really solid truck. I think I showed in the video, there's no rust in any of the rockers or anything like that. It's super clean. So it's a really nice truck, very cool. Doors open and close really nicely, but the cab is in really good shape. So it's really hard to find a 4-door long bed in this kind of shape. I was hoping if I just left it here long enough, he would just say, I forgot about it. But when I called him and told him we were working on it, he was pretty excited. He didn't forget about it at all. He did not forget about this thing at all. So either way, guys, it's coming along. We appreciate y'all watching. We appreciate y'all for the support. And don't forget about that TRX giveaway right now. Every $5 spent gets you 1 entry to win your choice of a mini TRX or a regular size TRX plus $20,000 cash. All your J's Diesel merchandise will qualify you to win, so you do not want to miss out on that. So, boom, guys. We are on our way with this thing. It should be pretty cool. And I'm excited.
We're getting close now.
Another good project. Yeah, we're super close.
We're way closer than we were yesterday.
That's very true.